What is going on, everybody? It's the Frogs. I'm here for a SmackDown review a little later because I, had a little bit of a problem with me falling asleep during SmackDown, so I had to watch it a little bit later. But what the fuck was that with Retribution? That's your new faction? Four guys and one woman who all are not even 6 foot tall, who are supposed to be like this fearsome group who I guess carry baseball bats and pipes, and what the fuck was that? What the hell was that? That was just so dumb. This thing's doomed to fail from the beginning. First off, it's a group that is supposed to be anti-WWE. They want to tear down the walls of WWE. They want to remake it. They're against the machine. They want to go up against the machine and win. Tell me, when they do those type of factions, when does that ever work? It doesn't. It has never worked before. It has never been one of those things where you have this happen and the faction wins. Why would the faction win? That's the thing. Why would you have this faction become a thing? Now, honestly, it looked like 4 guys from 205 Live, and I swear one of it sounded like one of the Singh brothers. I swear. They had one of the guys go, and he's like, "This is our house now, this is our house now, you better get moving." And it sounded like one of the Singh brothers, in my opinion. So, yeah, this whole Retribution thing makes no sense to me. WWE they have all these papers, all these ideas hanging on a board, and they're throwing darts hoping something will stick. And nothing's sticking. This won't last. This won't last through SummerSlam. I swear by the time SummerSlam is done and over with, it will be over with. It will be absolutely over with. And there's nothing that WWE will do. Nothing WWE won't do to just bore the hell out of us. Also, we got a continuation of Alexa Bliss and the Fiend, and what the fuck are they doing? You had Alexa Bliss last week. One of the most interesting parts of the show last week, the most interesting part of the show last week, was Alexa Bliss eating the mandible claw, and then they ended the show like that. What do they do this week? They do the dumbest thing possible. Alexa Bliss got hit with the mandible claw last week. She should have been off TV until after SummerSlam. She could have come back at SummerSlam, costing Braun Strowman the Universal Championship. The ref goes down, lights come down, the lights go down, lights come back up, and Alexa Bliss is in the ring Alexa Bliss is in the middle of the ring, laying laying on her back, arms crossed. Braun sees this and doesn't believe it because everything that happened with the Swamp Yard match. He's going over to check to see what's going on. Lights go down, let's go back up. Again, Alexa's no longer on the mat. She's behind Braun, hits him with the low blow. She exits the ring. Oh, the lights can go down again, the lights can come back up. She's gone now. And Bray Wyatt puts him in the mandible claw or whatever and wins the match. But they could have went with a lot better than what they did tonight. And there's so much more. We gotta start this off. We open the video package looking back at the swamp fight again because we need to be reminded of that piece of shit that happened almost a month ago. With the Fiend, of course, returning. The Firefly Funhouse last week where we saw when no one is safe, and then the attack by the Fiend on Alexa Bliss. We go to a new episode of the Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt. Wyatt welcomes everyone. He needs to address how a bunch of haters have been trying to slide into his DMs and blame him for what happened to Alexa. He points out a picture of WWE Universal Champion Braun Strowman on the wall and says that's who you can put the blame on. He asks Strowman how can he let something happen to someone so precious he cares about. Strowman should just give him what he wants. By the way, I didn't know this until a couple days later, but these Alexa Bliss fans are the dumbest fans in professional wrestling. There was actually a petition for justice for Alexa. Are you kidding me? That's what these people are going to do? Is it that real to them that they're like, oh my god, he hurt my precious Alexa. I gotta do something. I gotta put a petition out to try and get him fired or something. Come on. It's all part of the storyline. If you really think that any of this stuff was if you really were this stupid that you needed a petition to help save Alexa, you have fucking problems. Oh, Jesus. So, again, what the fuck? A petition to save Alexa Bliss. He says he will be here later tonight with someone very special. Says he's waiting for Braun and Wyatt advises Strowman he should just give the Fiend what he wants or find out what he's truly capable of. We see flashes of Fiend. Wyatt's all serious while talking about the Fiend. But he suddenly stops out of it and goes back to laughing, saying he's got the heebie-jeebies just thinking about the Fiend. Wyatt waves goodbye to end the segment. Now we are at the Performance Center with Michael Cole and them. We get Matt Riddle versus Sheamus. Why is this match happening? Probably because of the King's Ransom. We saw what happened with Corbin last week with his King's Ransom. He tried to find someone to take down Riddle as of late. Back and forth, hard-hitting match between these two. Sheamus with some strikes. Hold on. Let's get to the end of the match. This one's a long match. But Sheamus shows some frustration as they get toward the end of the match. Back and forth now in the middle of the ring. Riddle goes up for the running knee, but Sheamus dodges it and rolls him over for a 2 count. Sheamus catches Riddle in the Irish Curse. Sheamus charges in a corner, but he hits the ring post shoulder first and falls out from the floor. Riddle follows as the referee counts. He unloads the kicks to Sheamus. Sheamus blocks and drops him in a knee to the jaw. Sheamus makes it back to in, and out comes Chad Gable. He runs down, drops him from behind at ringside for the disqualification, and Matt Riddle will be your winner. After the bell, the boos get louder as Gable beats up on Riddle at ringside. Gable is here to collect the King's Ransom. Riddle fights back to rock Gable. Riddle runs and leaps off the announce table, taking Gable with a big punch. Riddle slams Gable face into the announce table over and over. He launches Gable into the steel steps. Then delivers a big kick to the chest. While he's down, the referee announces that Riddle has the winner. As Sheamus looks on from the ring, he is not happy one bit. Riddle dances around the ring or side area, heads up to the ramp. Sheamus grabs Gable and brings him back in. Gable stands up and turns around, and Sheamus delivers a big row kick for a pop. Sheamus takes the mic and rants at Gable for messing up his match, all for Corbin's bounty. He taunts and talks some more trash, yelling at Gable, and to get back up, Sheamus tosses the mic and waits for Gable again. In fury, Sheamus levels him with a second bro kick and leaves him to the boos as his music hits. Well, so much for that heel turn to mean anything, because Chad Gable looks like a punk. Absolute punk. Back from break, we see Sheamus confront Corbin backstage. Corbin says he was in the middle of offering to show a woman named Sarah around. Sheamus threatened Corbin to beat him up and shoves his crown and knocks his head off his shoulders if someone tries to get the King's Ransom during one of his matches again. He tells Corbin to try him. Corbin says he would put a dent in Sheamus' head if he wasn't busy with Jeff Hardy tonight. He walks off. Back in the ring, and then we got the dirt sheets. Ugh. Do I need to? I said this before, I'll say it again. I cannot stand these things. So, they welcome us to show us and to show us how Sonya Deville attacked Mandy Rose last week. They're having some difficulties. They joke that Retribution wasn't booked for SmackDown tonight. They go on about using this platform to give a platform to a victim who was attacked last week. They play Mandy's music, but it's not Mandy. It's Mandy's hair instead. Good fucking grief. I can't even regurgitate this garbage. Eventually, Deville comes out. She bitches, she moans, she complains. Out comes Heavy Machinery with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Finally, Otis has his briefcase. He didn't have it last week. I was wondering if he lost it. They start brawling with Miz and Morrison. Miz gets set to the floor. They go to double team Morrison as Otis prepares to hit him with the caterpillar. Morrison's able to retreat and hit the floor, joining Deville with the Miz. They group Otis and Tucker stand tall in the ring. Back to commercial. And this didn't lead to a tag team match, surprisingly. That is one of those tropes that I hope would die soon, and hopefully it has. But this segment did not lead. But seriously, they're going to do we're going to talk to the victim of an attack last week, and it's Mandy Rose's hair. I hate Miz TV, but my God, are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Wow, just wow. This is why I think they don't do the dirt sheet that often. If they did the dirt sheet that often and they were doing stupid shit like this, no one would be watching WWE television. Holy shit, that was stupid. Just so bad. Mandy Rose did get a hold of Sonya Deville though during the brawl. So, there's always that. This is going to probably lead to a 6-person tag match at SummerSlam or something. There's also a rumor that we're supposed to get a hair versus hair match between Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And I don't know. I don't know if I really want to see one of these women shaved bald. I'm not sure what to see how that goes, but yeah, Mandy Rose, she came out of the House of Fire on that attack, so good to see her get some kind of quote-unquote retribution from Sonya Deville. But yeah, 6-person tag match for sure, if it didn't happen. Cesaro versus Lince Dorado. Why this match is happening is probably because of last week. Lince Dorado was being made fun of by Cesaro because his boy Grand Metalik lost to AJ Styles, and apparently this is going to be a tag team feud going into SummerSlam, if they have a tag team match at SummerSlam. Good match here between these two. Cesaro and Lince Dorado. This is what I have to say about Lucha House Party. Two fine athletes. Lince Dorado, Grand Metalik, and Kalisto on his own right, whenever he's at. And I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he's injured or whatnot. But 3 fine athletes as a whole, as on their own. 3 underutilized athletes and unutilized wrestlers who could be used very much in the mid-card divisions if they wanted to do that. As a team, total garbage. Total job squad. They are the new, the job squad, or what the hell they were called in the Attitude Era. Yeah, definitely just a waste of time as a tag team. And we're supposed to take these guys seriously as contenders to, of course, it was a tag team match later, but we're supposed to take this shit seriously as a tag team. They came out last week after, of course, Grand Metalik lost in a good match against AJ Styles. We're supposed to take this shit seriously. Well, we're gonna have these guys go out there and, oh my goodness, go out there and be a tag team that we should actually deal with. Now, towards the end of this match, Roddy swings and Nakamura goes back to the floor, but Cesaro takes advantage and turns it around. Cesaro goes in for a big Razor's Edge bomb, but Dorado counters and takes him down for a 2 count. Cesaro quickly takes back control with an uppercut that nails a gotcha neutralizer for the pin and the win. After the match, Nakamura joins Cesaro in the middle of the ring. They stand tall with the titles and the music hits. We go to replays. Cole confirms that Miz and Morrison would be here for later tonight, which I'm really surprised that they did that. Usually, I will have to commend WWE a little bit, I guess, even though usually we have the big brawl we had between Otis and Tucker, Miz and Morrison, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and it's like, We'll go to commercial break and boom, tag team match or a 6-person tag team match. But no, they actually held off and they went, no, we got Cesaro and Lince Dorado. Kayla Braxton approaches for comments for Otis and Tucker and asks if he can channel his anger for the night's match. Otis says they crossed the line with so-called jokes about Mandy Rose on the dirt sheet. Tucker says what Sonya Deville did last week was despicable. Miz and Morrison just won't let it go, which of course they won't. Otis says he can make jokes all day, but he won't stand for jokes against his peach Mandy. Otis says Miz and Morrison will see that no one is laughing after they walk off. The Firefly Funhouse music intro starts playing, but it stops and turns into a warning from the Fiend as the lights go out in the arena. The Fiend's own music starts up as the red light lasers flash all around the arena. The Fiend heads to the ring as the bizarre entrance music plays, and we go to commercial break. Back for break, and the Fiend is in the ring. The red lights are still covering the arena, and menacing sound are playing over. Alexa Bliss is down on the mat as she was last week, and the Fiend stands over her. She still looks frightened. Why is this woman on our television? This would have been the perfect spot to have Braun Strowman march to the ring. The Fiend's nowhere to be seen. Alexa Bliss is nowhere to be seen, and he gets pissed off. Somebody, there's supposed to be a match that goes on. Say you do this, where you have a match supposed to go on. Some jobber's in the ring going to go up against a Sheamus or somebody, but instead Braun comes down, kills the person, throws him out of the ring, and you could just see the rage and anger in his face. But no, what do? Alexa Bliss is in the ring again, the Fiend is in the ring again, as they were last week. The Fiend backs up and crawls to Bliss now. The Fiend slowly raises his arm like he did last week. He looks to deliver another mandible claw. But this time, Bliss grabs his arm, stops him, looks up, and caresses his mask. The Fiend stops her, backs off, frustrated with how she's getting to him, when all of a sudden, Strowman appears on the big screen as Wyatt backs off Bliss. He doesn't give a damn about Bliss, he just wants the Fiend, which, gee, Braun. So much for being that just shows how good of a friend Braun Strowman is to Alexa Bliss. I mean, come on, dude. Strowman doesn't give a damn about Bliss. He just wants the Fiend. He goes on about how different he is coming out of the swamp fight. Says since the Fiend is in the ring, he's looking at the most evil son of a bitch that the world laid eyes on. He tried to resist the fight it, but he's at his breaking point. What he's been building inside of him coming out the evil. He goes on talking like some kind of monster now. He says he is more than a man. He is the thing that nightmares are made of. He is the monster. Strowman says the Fiend can have whatever he wants at SummerSlam. And tells the Fiend to face his fears, face the monster, continues breathing heavily as the Fiend looks on from the ring, apparently his approval. We get flashes of the Fiend as SmackDown goes to commercial. This is what you had. Well, we're not getting Sister Abigail as much as everybody predicted. This was so bad. Why? So, what was the point of having him attack Alexa Bliss then? If Braun Strowman doesn't care about Alexa Bliss, why have him be attack her? Why do any of this shit? This shit just makes no sense to me. Wow, this shit just makes no sense to me. But leave it to WWE to take something that everybody was interested in last week. Last week, the most talked about segment was The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. And you killed it and ruined it in 1 week. Not surprised. Jeff Hardy versus Baron Corbin. Yeah, no. This match was nothing. Jeff wins by DQ as Sheamus somehow shows up, hits the bro kick, and the referee calls for the bell. Corbin goes out and argues with Sheamus at the ringside. Hardy's with the kicks. The referee gets between these two. And then we go to commercial break and we come back. And what do we have? Sheamus versus Baron Corbin. Another nothing match. Why do I want to see these two go at it? Seriously. Why would anyone want to go at and see these two go at it? Matt Riddle comes out of nowhere, springboard into the ring. Corbin ducks him, and Riddle goes right back out of the ring. Sheamus immediately takes advantage of the distraction and drops Corbin with the bro kick for the win. Whoop-de-doo. This company just doesn't get good fucking professional wrestling. This has been boring so far. Backstage, Women's Tag Team Champions and Raw Women's Champion Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. They seem to have some tension over Bayley's match with Asuka on Monday. For Asuka to earn a title shot against Banks at SummerSlam. Banks says Bayley she's got this. Most importantly, she needs to do this for her. They argue over Asuka wants payback on Banks for the title, or put payback on Bayley for what she did to Kairi Sane. Banks interrupts Bayley and says it doesn't matter what Asuka wants. This is all about them because they have all the gold. They are best friends and role models. A staffer interrupts them and says they are needed in the ring for a video conference with Stephanie. Banks acts a bit concerned, but Bayley says they got this. They're fine. Back to commercial break. Back from break, and Kayla is backstage with Big E. She asks him what's next. What's his next venture looking like going out on his own while Kofi and Xavier Woods are sidelined. He gets hyped and says he's not sure where his run will go, but he can assure you that he will give himself will give all of himself because the New Day rocks, Kayla says for him a few times, and Big E gets hyped up and down for the exit segment. This seems like they're just wasting away Big E right now because what the fuck? The dude, Kofi Kingston said he's going to be out for 6 weeks. This is week number 3. What are they haven't done anything with this guy yet. Are you kidding me? I thought they would have had this guy, like last week he faced The Miz. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What's he going to do next? Is this all we're going to get is promo, match, promo, match, promo, match? There's the 6 weeks. Kofi comes back. Oh, the New Day are back to being a tag team. So you wasted our time with Big E, it seems like. The tag team champions in the ring. Stephanie McMahon appears on the big screen and they welcome her. Stephanie thanks Banks and Bayley for joining her. She praises them for achieving their goal and winning all the gold except for NXT. They thank her and say her positive feedback means the world because there's a lot of negative hate in the locker room now. Bayley says they're going to try to be role models for girls around the world like Stephanie's daughters. They keep kissing up to Stephanie. She finally changes her tune on the scene, bringing up some of the bad actions from the summer. Stephanie isn't sure about being role models, but they are definitely have her attention now. They keep sucking up, knowing they are they know what's best for business. Stephanie isn't one to hold a grudge. She says, "A McMahon, she doesn't want to lecture them about, but she does want to challenge them." She says Banks will defend the title at SummerSlam. It could be against Asuka after the match on Monday. Stephanie says Bayley will also defend her title at SummerSlam against the enemy she's made as later on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. There will be a triple brand battle royal on next week's show. The winner faces Bayley at SummerSlam. Okay, I know that sounds like a really good idea. I guess if you want to say it, because I mean, fuck, SmackDown. Sasha Banks is a SmackDown superstar. She's a SmackDown superstar and she's the Raw Women's Champion. So yeah, a person from NXT or Raw could win that Battle Royal and face Bayley at SummerSlam. I don't know who you would pick though. Stephanie says now that's what's best for business. Banks and Bayley are not argue in the ring. Kayla is backstage with Sonya Deville and Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison take shots at Heavy Machinery and walk off for the night's main event. Main event time, Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison. Long, drawn-out match. Miz sucks. Morrison needs to get away from him. No contest as Rose unloads, but let's see. Tucker charges Miz at the ringside, but they move and he crashes into the plexiglass, which that plexiglass has gotten a lot of mileage already. Miz drives Otis into the steel steps. Mandy Rose with a shorter hair suddenly appears and attacks Deville, preventing her from interfering. Rose unloads on Deville from the fight back, and the referee calls for bell. After the bell, Rose and Deville brawl around the ring. The referee and the two tag teams run to pull them apart. Rose tackles Deville. They brawl. They beat the hell out of each other. SmackDown goes commercial break. Back from break, and we see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville still being kept apart in the backstage area. There are some more technical difficulties overhead. We go right to Cole and Graves at ringside, and Retribution suddenly appeared and run wild at the ringside, going all through the arena, yelling and screaming and destroying stuff with baseball bats, crowbars, and other weapons. The men and women are wearing all black, hoodies, and face masks. One representing the house tells the camera, "This is our house now. You might want to leave." Retribution continues running wild around the arena, making Cole, Graves, and the camera people leave, so all we see is the hard cam. Some members are running in and out of the ring. Looks like the camera guy gets knocked onto the ground, and the camera guy gets dropped at ringside. The masked men and women hit the crowd, attacking the development trainees and beating them up. Some of the members return to the ring and continue ranting about how it's theirs now. Two of the guys go to tip the SmackDown announce table over. Cole and Graves left a few minutes ago. They take black, red, and blue spray paint cans now, spraying their names, their name and anti-WWE symbol all over the plexiglass on the ring area. This is your faction. This was the faction that debuted on Monday. This is already done. I'm sorry, this is failure. How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen look at the Nexus. Look what they did. They had a good few weeks of, they had a good, maybe a month of positivity. And then what happened? They disappeared. They lost to John Cena. They lost to a bigger name. And they were done. And now you have this. And the difference is, a lot of those guys in the Nexus would eat this faction for lunch. These men and women look like 205 Live and young and small talent. This is just ridiculous. This is the best you got for this. I could understand if you have some like some beef for boys, like maybe Dijakovic in there, and maybe say Killian Dane possibly, and some others. But no, this is what you have. This is dumb. This is absolutely stupid. I'm watching this on YouTube right now without the volume on. It's just I'm looking at the skin and I'm like, what the hell is this? You're having them run on camera tech guys. You're having them beat the hell out of Performance Center talent. What the fuck am I watching? This is just so bad. And again, there's a thing going on in Portland. There are 70 days of protesting. Well, I'm sorry, not protesting, but rioting. And men and women are dressing like this. Hurting people, beating on people, attacking buildings, destroying things. And WWE's and Vince McMahon's like, that's a good idea for a faction. Let's have people dress up in all black and be like these Antifa people. This is one of the worst ideas in 2020. This is going to fail hard. And usually, and this is another thing, when you have these guys and girls eventually lose their masks, and it's just them, hey, here's the big reveal, this is who it is. Unless it's people that we actually want to see and care about, nobody's gonna fucking care. This is like Aces and Eights. This is gonna feel like Aces and Eights. Because when Aces and Eights had their masks on, because they wore masks so you couldn't see who they were for a while. It was like, the intrigue was there. Who were these men, these masked men, beating up all these big established talents? And then when the first mask came off and it was Devon Dudley, oh my god, that's fucking crazy because he wasn't supposedly signed with Impact Wrestling at the time. But after that, every time a mask came off, it was just more disappointment. And this is going to be one of those things where this is going to be disappointment. I don't even care who's under the mask. You could have, this could be the Undisputed Era and Marina Shafir, and I would not care. This is just a failure waiting to happen. And this is what they're going to do, the spray painting stuff. This is so dumb. Just watching this back in, it's like, holy shit. This is what you're gonna have. This is your faction. Ooh, they get spray paint. Let's spray paint everything. When you have these 5 individuals, probably 1 woman and 4 guys, and they're finally revealed to be who they are, and it turns out to be 4 members of 205 Live and some woman from who knows where, it's all just gonna be worthless. This is so bad. SmackDown just fell off a cliff this week. Last week was not that bad of a show, but this week they just fell off a cliff. But that is your SmackDown review. This is ridiculous. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. Find me on Instagram at The France Club. And I'll see you guys later. This is a joke. This Retribution is a failure from the start.